Hi guys, my name is Caitlin and with me today is Ashlyn, and we both work in the Feline Department here at the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo. We're just going to give you a quick walkthrough of what it takes to do what we do every single day.
So we work with dangerous animals every single day, and we always have to be at the top of our game, and we have certain safety measures in place to make sure that all of our staff and guests are safe at all times. And we are going to give you guys an idea of how we work with these animals on a daily basis without ever having any direct contact with them. So at the zoo, we have a variety of small and large cats, all the way from our African servals, which are anywhere from 20 to 30 pounds, all the way up to our African lion, Simba, who is more than 400 pounds. So we have 6 species within the Felidae family, and at least 4 of them are listed as vulnerable or worse on the IUCN Red List, and it is a privilege for us to get to work with them every single day.
Every morning, we start our day by doing live checks on all of the cats that we care for. We go to every night house and make sure that no one has had any issues overnight and that they're also still there. We know everyone is okay because we know their personalities because we get to work with them every day. Our cats are all predators, so they can be very good at hiding any injuries or any illnesses because in the wild, they can't show any kind of weakness. Because of this, we have to check everyone and monitor them very closely and take note of even the slightest changes in behavior or personality. Once we know everyone is okay, we can prepare any morning medications and diets. 2 keepers go around to every exhibit and ensure cats are secured in their night houses, and then we enter their yards to clean. We remove any feces and old enrichment from the previous day, and we also check the exhibit to make sure it's secure. We check that there is no damage to the exhibit in any way, and this is especially important during hurricane season because if we experience any inclement weather, our cats can get out. We exit the exhibit, both keepers ensure that it's secure before any cats get shifted out onto exhibit. We work in a 2-man team so that we are always able to double check each other, and there's always the assurance that everything is safe before any animals are given access to any area.
So safety is a very essential part of everything that we do every day while we are moving cats from one area to another. In the morning, we shift all of the cats out onto exhibit by 9 a.m. to make sure they're out for you guys to see. So every shift door that we open to move a cat has a pin in it specifically so that each door cannot be opened accidentally. So keepers are in constant communication with each other before any doors are open, pins are removed, or cats are shifted. Keepers verbally confirm with each other that the exhibit is secure and that everything is good to go. The cat is then shifted out and onto exhibit for the day for you guys to come visit them and appreciate them as much as we do.
Once all of the cats are outside for the day, it's time for us to go into their night houses and clean. Our cats get locked down overnight to ensure their safety while we aren't around. Before we enter a house, we confer the same things that we do before we let them out of the house by knowing where they are, not just where they are not. We double check that each cat is shifted into the yard, their safety pin is in, and no doors can be opened, and we verbally confirm with the other keeper on our team. Once we enter the house, we remove any feces or food left over from the night before. We drain their waters and refill them daily. We spray out their houses to make sure it's clean before they get shifted back in, and twice a week, each house is deep cleaned. We use a degreaser, and that's especially helpful with cats. We scrub the floors, their feed chutes, their decks, and their waters. We then will use a diluted bleach solution to sanitize the entire house, and then it is rinsed thoroughly. We check the security of the house, just like the yards, daily. If there's any issue, it is fixed immediately to ensure continued safety of all staff and guests, and of course our cats, because that's our top priority.
Enrichment is a daily requirement for all of our cats. Enrichment can be anything that we use to make their days different and interesting, and it can be used to encourage their natural behaviors. So for cats, natural behaviors can be anything of having to get their food in a different way to something smaller like a new smell in their exhibit. That's still very interesting, something they have to investigate. So we give enrichment every day to make sure that they have something to look forward to and to keep their minds engaged. Though we do give it out on a varied schedule to make sure that it's unpredictable. Sometimes it can be a large item placed in their exhibit first thing in the morning, and sometimes on a hot day we'll give them frozen treats at lunchtime, and sometimes it's there right at the end of the day when they get their diets in their night houses. We use different types of enrichment every day to keep the schedule swapped up and to keep the cats engaged and intrigued.
Every day we prepare diets for the next day for all of our cats and for the animals in the Americas as well that require meat in their diets. We prepare almost 80 pounds 6 days a week for these animals. They go from diets as small as half a pound to 12 pounds for some of our larger cats as well. And while we make these diets, especially we take into account their body condition and their age. So some of our cats do get some boneless meat or some macerated diets as well, which is just easier for them to eat and digest later. And with those, we always add a calcium supplement to ensure that they are healthy and well taken care of. And some of our cats are on joint supplements as well because they're older. Our oldest cat is 19 and our youngest cat is 1.5 years. So we do have a wide variety of ages, so we do have to prepare for a wide variety of needs.
Training is a critical part of our day and one of my personal favorites. Training is a good way for keepers to keep their cats' minds active, as well as it allows us to make their medical care as stress-free as possible. All of our large cats participate in voluntary injections, which you can see our African lion Simba here showing you how it's done. This allows us to administer any medications that the cats may need easily and without having to stress them out. We can also train them to stand up against a fence so that we can see the bottom of their feet and their underbelly to check for any injuries or illnesses.
All of our cats learn a target behavior first. It's a very simple behavior. We press something against the fence and they will go investigate it. You can see Peyton in the video here pressing her nose to the red target that Ashlyn is holding. Target is our building block behavior because it's a great way to transition into harder, more difficult, and more interesting behaviors that we can teach our cats. This allows keepers to position the cats anywhere in the exhibit that we may need them to be. You can see our African serval Peyton not only using her target behavior, but also learning how to sit on a scale so we can get an accurate weight on her. Eventually, we'll have her sit on the scale on cue with all of her feet on the scale as well. But while she's learning to be comfortable around the new scale, we can ask her to do a simple behavior that she knows well and is confident in.
Training, lastly, is an excellent form of enrichment. It is the most interactive enrichment that our cats can get because the keepers are present and we can adjust the behaviors that we're asking for based on how involved the cat is choosing to be. If they're particularly motivated during a training session, we can ask for more complicated and involved behaviors. And if they're not feeling it that day, then we can do some very simple behaviors and they at least get some really yummy treats. We make sure that training is always a very positive experience for our cats, and we always end a training session on a happy note. Training is a great way for us to bond with the cats, and the yummy snacks don't hurt too bad either.
We hope you guys learned a little bit more about what it takes to be a cat keeper every day. We love our animals and we love interacting with you and helping you to love our animals too. So thank you for watching, and please come back and see us at the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo.